This is what happens when you hoard clothes, when you shop a little too much. What's up guys, it's Kaelon, and today I'm going to be doing the most highly requested video that, just has to do with me. Like, this is like, everybody just has so many questions about my hair, so I'm going to answer these questions because I do get a lot of repeats. So I'm like, alright, I'm going to just do a video and basically nail the hammer on the head. Nail the hammer on the head. No. A lot of you guys ask me questions in DMs, a lot of guys, you comment on my posts and everything, and it's been booming ever since I posted this one thread about all my styles. So if you are following me on Instagram, then you know I posted this thread of all of the styles I have, and it got like over 3,000 likes and a whole bunch of comments. And after that, my DMs were like going crazy. Like, everybody's like, yo, what do you do? Just a whole bunch of different questions, and I didn't want to just answer them back to back. So I'm like, I'm just gonna do a video to, like, put it all in there, put it all out there, what I do, how I do it, when I do it, whatever your questions are. I have them all written down, so I'm just gonna read them and I'm gonna answer them. Not only that, but I really hope this helps. Like, I really hope I answer all the questions effectively. I'll try my best, so we're gonna see. All right, so the first question is, this is like the question that one of the questions that I get the most is, how long have you been growing your dreads? So it is March of 2018. I've been growing them since November of 2016. What? It's about to be like 2 years. Anyways, I've been growing them for like about that long. So it's a year and probably 3 months. A year and some change, I don't know. It's probably like a year and 4 months. So I'm gonna take my hat off, but my hair's like maybe down here now. So the second question is, how did you start them? So I started them with coils. If you don't know what coils are, I'll put like a video on the screen, or I'll just like put a picture. I'll even put a link down in the description so you know. But I started them with coils because I didn't want to interlock. When you interlock them, that means like when you interlock your dreads, there's gonna be a thing. Okay, so if you go to get your hair locked, a real loctician will ask you, do you want them interlocked or do you want them coiled? I would prefer coil better, so that because interlocking, it kind of like thins them out at the root, and you don't want that. And not only that, but I wasn't really sure if I was gonna keep them at first. I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna keep them, and if I coil them, then I can easily uncoil them and take them out. But when you coil them, it requires a lot more maintenance to your journey. Like, no matter what, you're just gonna have to, always keep them tight. You're gonna have to really like palm roll them all the time, things like that. Like, you really have to like keep up with the maintenance. Another thing about coiling is when you do coils, they can easily unravel, especially when they're shorter. They can easily unravel if you don't sleep with something on, or if you don't really just take care of them, and they'll look really messy. I actually been through that stage. People call that the ugly stage, the dirty stage, the messy stage, whatever. I don't really say it's like the ugly stage or anything, because I just say like it's just something to get through. Like, that's all. Like, you go through something and you get through it. I kind of went through that, and this is actually another question now that I think about it. So this guy said he cut his hair off, or he started his dreads and he cut them off because they were ugly. And then he asked me, did you go through that stage? And that's the stage that I was just talking about. I actually did go through a stage where I was just like, damn, I really don't want to do this. I don't want to keep them. But I knew the end result. I knew what the end result would be, and I knew that one day, like, they'll be nice, and they'll be nice and healthy and full, just like how I want them. So that's why I kept them. And that basically what that stage is, what it really is, when it looks messy and stuff like that, and it's like no control over it, is when you go to the budding stage. The budding stage, you want to be like, this is like, I was actually proud when I went to the budding stage. I'm like, oh wow, they're finally budding. So what the budding stage is, when your locks go from coils to actually locking. Like, it doesn't look the nicest when they're short and they're starting to lock. It looks really bad, but it actually is a really good thing. It means they're locking, they're matting, they're becoming actual locks. So that's what I was actually really proud that my hair was locking. Oh, how long did it take for them to fully lock? Okay, so my hair is so weird. Like, in certain areas, it's like tough, I guess, because that's where I sleep. Like, when I sleep on my side, so back hair locked quick. But Like, I think in the front it took so long to lock. Like, they actually, my locks took about 4 months to lock fully, but at the same time they were growing. So like they were locking and growing. They had to go to the growing stage, then they had to lock all the new growth. And you know, and it's still continuing to do that though, but it took a while for them to lock and actually look like locked dreads instead of like, oh, I just started them and they're still coils, or they're still coils in certain areas. How often do you get them retwisted? Yeah, I retwist once a month. But this month, like, I just got a retwist not too long ago. But I'm gonna go 2 months this time without retwisting, just to see all the progress, because I want like a lot of I'm gonna have a lot of new growth. I know that because my hair is growing like crazy right now. But I'm gonna basically just let it be free, let it go. I'm not gonna freeform. I'm still gonna like twist or break them or whatever, so that they don't all mat together. But I'm gonna like kind of just go with the flow and see what happens. I'm gonna have a lot of new growth, but it's gonna be a lot of maintenance that I gotta keep up with. But I'm gonna get through it. It's gonna be cool. Do you pay to get it retwisted by a professional? Sometimes and sometimes not. I used to retwist them myself. Like when I first started, my very first retwist, I actually did it myself. My first like 2 retwists, I did them myself. And then I started getting them retwisted by some girl. She did pretty good. She knew like the basics or whatever, so it was never a problem. And then I got them retwisted by my cousin. My cousin, he had locks for so long, to the point where like he could do any kind of style on his hair. He could do basically anything. So I remember him telling me, it was actually it was right before New Year's. He told me, he was like, yeah, I could retwist your hair. And I'm like, okay, why not? Because I know that he had dreads for a long time before he cut them off. His brothers all have them. So I'm like, I know he knows how to retwist. So he did my retwist, and he actually did my first actual style. Let me tell you, this was the best retwist I have ever had. Like, still to this day, that's the best retwist that I ever had. Like, he really like bodied that. Like, I don't even know how to explain it. Like my parts, I never saw my parts like that sharp. I never saw my scalp that much. He like did the whole style, even though I didn't have a cut. I probably said I had a nice cut. I probably would have kept it longer. But he moved back down to Georgia, so can't get him retwisted. He actually moved back down to Georgia, and then he left overseas. So yeah, I don't know when the next time I'm gonna get a retwist like that. But actually, after that, I got a good retwist when I was at home. Some girl came. She actually came to my house and retwisted them. She does like, I don't know if they're called anything when a person comes to your house and does your hair, but that's what she did, and she did really good too. And then my mom just like styled it really quick, which I didn't know if she knew how to do, but she actually did really good too. Would you prefer to get a haircut before or after your retwist? Oh, I love this question. This is a good question. Okay, so here's the thing. When I got a haircut before my retwist, right? Okay, so this is what I always think though. I think if I get a retwist and then get a haircut, okay, in the front, for instance, like you all know what my hairline looks like. So in the front, I'm like, if I get a retwist before I get a haircut, like the person that's retwisting my hair is gonna twist up my hairline, which my cousin actually did. He twisted up my hairline, and I had to like fix that. And then I was saying, if I get a haircut like before my retwist, then I could possibly cut off the hair that I may need to put in my locks. So what I would prefer is to get a retwist first, honestly, because you can always fix the front. Like your barber can fix that, honestly, if he's good. And then get your retwist. Get a cut first, then get your retwist. That's the end of it. Do you have any regrets on what you did with your locks? Yes. Okay, there was a time where, well, you guys actually know, because I did an update, but there was a time where I just like really wasn't paying attention. I really wasn't taking care of them like how I should have been. And they literally started thinning. Like they started thinning over here, they started thinning over here, they started thinning over here, like some in the back. And I didn't know what I was doing wrong, but I fixed it. And I'm actually gonna post that, like how to fix them, and how to really just grow all that new growth back. It's actually, it's cool. It's just a mixture of ingredients and then some basic at-home remedies. I'm gonna post that because you guys really want that. Like I posted some on my Instagram and you guys were all like commenting, making me laugh. All right, how long did it take for them to start looking normal when you first started them? God, that's a good question. I got I gotta think about that. Well, I would say the 4 months, like, you know how I said when the coils or whatever, you know. Okay, so from November to all the way till probably June is when I started to notice that they really started to look nice and full. Like, they started to look like actual dreadlocks. But they were still so short. I didn't realize until like this December that came around and I looked back like on my Snapchat camera and I was like, wow, my hair was really short. But that's when they started to look normal. What advice or what should I do to get my hair long? Or like yours? I've been struggling bad, bro. Alright, so I'm guessing you have your hair in, you know, starter locks or whatever. So basically what you want to do is just get all the right ingredients. I did post a video on my page. You can go watch that. It's about all the stuff that I use, and they're all helpful. They're all helpful if you just use them. But you said like mine. To get them like mine, and this is crazy because I like that you asked this so people would know. So how I started mine, before I started, I basically studied locks. I'm like, all right, so before I really lock my hair, I want to like make sure I know what I'm doing, what I'm getting myself into. So I studied a whole bunch. I studied what kind of locks I want, what size, everything. So I knew that I wanted like skinny locks, but not thin locks, like sister locks. Like I don't want that. And I didn't want really big locks because I feel like for me, it just wouldn't look right on me. That's just my preference. I don't know, it might work for you though. The bigger your parts, the less locks you will have. The smaller your parts, the more locks you will have. But this is the thing that you gotta take into consideration with small parts, which means more locks, is that when you get a retwist, it might not look as good as the big locks. Like there's not gonna be as much scalp showing, unless you get them like body, like how I got it that one time. But yeah, just take that into consideration. But until when they mature, you'll see more scalp because there'll be more locks and your locks will actually be better form. Like you always want to pay attention to that. About the struggling part, I wanted to touch on that. There's no need to like really stress it that much as long as you're taking care of it and you know doing everything you need to do. Oh, palm roll. This is palm rolling right here. This is palm rolling. When you just, so you'll take a lot and like, and for instance, if they're frizzy, and this is actually another question. Actually, I'll just answer this question. So somebody said how, I forgot what it said exactly, but basically, how do I stop the frizziness in my locks? So if you have frizziness, for instance, this one is pretty frizzy. So if you want to do this, you can use lock-in gel, but I wouldn't use lock-in gel because that's me. But this is what you always want to do, even if you don't really care about frizziness. Just palm roll, just like this, like indefinitely, like not all day, because you don't want to thin them out too much. Just palm roll. Don't twist, don't retwist, don't like go like this, because you're putting so much tension right here. And not only are you putting tension, but you're pulling, and that can cause so much thinning. That's actually why my locks were thin, and now that I think about it, because in the front I used to always touch them, and I used to, you know, tug on them and twist them. That's actually why it caused a lot of thinning. But you don't want to do that, so just, you know, just palm roll all day. Not all day, but you know, just palm roll, and that kind of gets the frizziness away. But if you put lock-in gel on it, I swear, lock-in gel or water, it will literally like snap it right back. Like you won't even see frizziness. But when you when you put lock-in gel on it, don't put too much because it will cause buildup, and you don't want buildup. There was a question about buildup. It says your locks always look so clean and nice. How do you do that? So I'm guessing this is like about buildup. So this is what I was so afraid of when I got them. I'm like, I don't want buildup, I don't want dandruff, I don't want any kind of, you know, noticeable product in my head rather than the smell, which is the Jamaican mango and lime lock spray. That smells really good. So this basically what I do is I'll put like, I don't use beeswax. I do use cream, lock-in cream wax, whatever it's called, but I don't use beeswax, and I don't use a lot of like, I just don't use a lot of the product. When you use a lot of the product, it causes that buildup. And this is the thing when you get a retwist that, you know, I've actually been paying attention to, because sometimes when the person that's retwisting your hair, they'll just smack a glob of lock-in gel on there and they'll twist it. And it does dry clear, but if you have a lot, like a whole lot, it's not gonna dry clear. Like it's gonna like be there, and it's gonna turn brown actually. It does not look nice, it looks dirty. And it's crazy because it looks dirty, but your hair is so clean.